You are finally able to play one of the best Cold War Zombies modes on PC and Xbox, and what I'm talking about is Onslaught. In today's video, I will be breaking down the mode from things like how the mode works, what it is, how it's actually amazing for both leveling up, camo grinding, and weapon leveling up, and just as I said, overall the mode itself. Obviously, if you're a PlayStation player, you've had this mode for the past year, starting from November 13th up until now, and obviously it's never going to go away, but it is finally releasing to all players out there, which is super cool, and it is a big shame that it was exclusive. So even if you're a PlayStation player, this video might actually be kind of helpful to you. There will be timestamps down below to explaining different modes and different things like that, because there are actually 3 different versions of Onslaught, so if you want to just skip to those things or the XP stuff and different things like that, be sure to jump to that by all means. But before you do that, be sure to subscribe. We just hit 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. Thank you all so much. And Vanguard is dropping literally the week of Onslaught releasing, so hey, if you're looking forward to some Vanguard content, yeah, I'll be definitely doing a lot. And also be sure to drop a like at the video, as that does really help out, and it just kind of spreads the video out there more to help more people out maybe, and just in general helps the channel out. Without further ado, let's get right into the basics. So the first thing I'll explain is how to access this mode. So what I found out was, usually if you want to play a solo version of this game, you have to go over to solos, and in here you have the option of choosing Forsaken, Outbreak, Firebase, Demachiner, Malware, yada yada, Cranked, and other things like that. But to access Onslaught, you will have to specifically go over to a private match if you don't want to play with randoms. I know this is a very small thing, but I felt like mentioning it in this video, as when I tried to go get gameplay for this, I haven't played Onslaught in forever. I was kind of confused, and I found it in private. Now there are 3 different modes for Onslaught. There's the normal Onslaught, there's Onslaught Elite, and Onslaught Containment. As I said, there will be timestamps to explaining all of these, but I'll first go over Onslaught itself, as you know, it's just a basic thing. So Onslaught, I will be saying this word a lot in this video, so if you want to, like, I don't know, count it or whatever, and tell me down in the comments, whatever, just get used to the word Onslaught. What this mode is, the best way to explain it is, you can play on most, and I say most, of the multiplayer maps, as they don't have all of the season 6 ones yet, or obviously the Outbreak ones that we have in Outbreak, like, you know, the Fireteam Dirty Bomb ones. Now it does follow the same kind of style of normal zombies on Cold War, where you're able to choose your loadout when you spawn in. When you're spawned in, there will be an orb that will just spawn in front of you as you do, and what this is you essentially have to fill up these orbs with zombie kills. So you're basically stuck in kind of like a storm. Another best way to explain it is, think of it like a battle royale storm, where if you go out, you will start taking damage and you can down in there. Obviously you can revive yourself and you can down again, and then that's the game. You finish, you lose. But I feel like that's just like a basic thing to understand. It's like a storm. You can't go outside. There will be zombies that will be spawning in, and don't worry, there won't be any elites or specials yet, because these orb locations are called surges, and every single time you fill up this orb, it will move to a different location on the map, which will open it up and allow you to explore more of the map. Even though if you've played multiplayer, you've probably seen these maps multiple times, but I guess it's a nice thing to go on to. Now these surges, they just keep moving up, but as you can see in the corner of your screen, there are also elite surges. Now what this is basically every 3 surges, every 3rd one, a special orb will spawn in that will have either a special or elite zombie come out of it. Now the special ones aren't normal, they'll be more like red, the ones that we've had on Malware, their totem for the specific Easter egg step, where it involves you carrying, was it uranium or something, and they're called high value targets, so they'll be slightly more challenging to take down than a normal mimic or a mangler. There won't be any disciples, which is thank God, because if disciples were in this mode and they started giving health to zombies, this would be absolute pain. Now every surge that you go up, it will become more and more challenging, and there is just a random chance of, let's say, a megaton to spawn in, or any one of the high value targets. And the thing with this is, this will give you perks, ammo, weapons, and score streaks. Treat it like a pumpkin. So basically in the Halloween event, zombies tend to drop pumpkins every so often, and out of that you can get cool loot like wonder weapons, and different things like that. That's basically what this is. And on top of this, the higher you go up, these special zombies will start actually dropping you wrenches to upgrade your weapon, and on top of this, chalices, which you've again probably most likely seen in the pumpkins in the Halloween event. And that's all that the Onslaught mode is. Just keep playing. Every 3 surges, elites or specials spawn in, zombies will tend to get more health, you can get lethals, tacticals, perks, the random perk which spawns every single time after you take down the elite or high value target, and sometimes they can actually just drop on the floor like free perks, which is pretty cool. There are no crafting tables, there is no box, no pack-a-punch machine. It's just normal multiplayer maps with the high value targets every so often and just zombies to survive. And now moving on to the gem of Onslaught, the best mode in my opinion out of all of the ones that we've had, even though they did actually have kind of a gun game mode back in the past, but we haven't seen that return, so maybe in the future they'll bring it back so people on Xbox and PC can try it out. But what Onslaught Containment is the face-off maps, so things like U-Bahn, ICBM, KGB, Game Show, and it even says Nuketown 84, which I haven't been able to get, but this is a way faster version of Onslaught. So instead of the orb moving around from location to location, this time it stays in one place, as these are super small maps and it's just non-stop. It never slows down. Spawn in, zombies. Treat it like Cranked, but for Onslaught, but better. Behaves the same. Every 3 orbs, elites spawn in, and you can get a bunch of cool stuff like perks, weapon upgrades, and different things like that. So that's what Onslaught Containment is. In my opinion, this is definitely the best mode to play because the Onslaught normal version or the Onslaught Elite, it's a bit slow having to run around from location to location. Whereas in this, you can run around, but it's such a small area that it just feels like, I don't know, let's say Nocturne Totem, where, you know, it's just not a lot of area to run around, and it can get challenging just like the previous Onslaught normal mode. Every so often it gets more and more challenging. Something that I forgot to include is one of the Onslaught modes, which is called Onslaught Elite. To quickly explain this, every single surge, every single time the orb moves, an elite will spawn in with the normal zombies. So yeah, that's all that the elite mode is. Now another cool thing about Onslaught, you actually do get blueprints every so often. So from what this says, I'm pretty sure they keep swapping out. For me currently, I have an expiry date of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 14 seconds as of the time that I'm actually recording this voiceover, and it says I need to eliminate 300 enemies in Containment, which is weird because I did play Containment and I did eliminate 300 enemies. I don't know, that's weird, but you can unlock free blueprints. They're nothing crazy, but it's pretty cool. Now let's move on to the XP grinding on this. So one big reason why, in my opinion, Onslaught is just amazing for XP grinding, and that is because you get chalices, or these rewards basically, for completing a certain amount of elite surges that I mentioned earlier. So there is a bronze, silver, and gold, similar to the ones that drop that you can actually use to pack a punch, and they give you a different amount of XP. The bronze chalice, which you get after eliminating 3 elites, so basically 3 surges, you get 2500 XP. Nothing too crazy. Silver, after 5 elites, 5000 XP. Gold, after 8 elite surges, 7500. And this gets added up. Unfortunately, once you do get these challenges, and let's say you go back to the mode, you can't actually get these again, but you don't get the same amount of XP. And the cool thing with this, you can actually get these chalices on every single map. So maps like Nuketown, Standoff, Express, Raid, Pines, Cartel, Checkmate, Crossroads, Garrison, Miami, Moscow, Satellite. The list just goes on. Every single map has these chalices, and it's just free XP. You know what? I'll take it. Yes, after you get these XP chalices, you can't get them again. But guess what? This mode is actually really good for XP as well, because if you play the map Nuketown, just normal, not going to Onslaught Containment, and you go up to the houses, so either the green house or the yellow house, and go over to the balcony, whatever you want to call these, where I am standing, so the part where you climb up the like ladder or whatever it is, and stand on the edge. There's a weird bug in this game, or on Onslaught multiplayer maps, whatever, Nuketown, where they don't come through the window and they'll be coming from one area. If you sit up here, there's a very high chance, since Nuketown is such a small map, in normal Onslaught, the orb will be moving around to most locations where you're able to just sit in the one spot and don't have to worry about moving anywhere. And with a combination of obviously having a good weapon and toxic growth to place down in front of you for the zombies to be slowed down, you can actually just progress through it fast and get a bunch of XP. The higher you go up, the crazier it gets, the more spawns there are, the more XP you will be receiving. So that is the 2 reasons why I do love this mode, and Nuketown is definitely the best one in my opinion to level up. People have been getting level 1000 in the past because of this bad boy, especially with like double XP or double XP weekend. Ooh, this is good. And the last thing why it's amazing for camo grinding is because of the elites and special zombies that spawn in, which are basically the high value targets. It allows you to get all of your elite or special, well, high value target, whatever you want to call them, kills kills for the camos that you need, which is pretty cool. In the past, back on launch, people who had PlayStation usually went on to Onslaught to just get their elite kills really fast, as back then we only had the megatons on the machina, and that came every 8 rounds ish, which was really annoying and challenging. And why I never actually covered Onslaught in that was because, well, not everybody has a PlayStation. But if you're still trying to unlock Dark Aether, or just, you know, unlock Dark Aether and other weapons that you don't have it on yet, Onslaught is pretty good for it. And Onslaught Containment, you'll cover this in no time, and leveling up of your weapon will be amazing on it as well because of the amount of zombies that spawn in using the similar Nuketown XP method. So that's it for the video. I know it was a slight bit more long because there's just a lot of things to cover. I wanted to go over everything. Just to quickly break it down again, every single multiplayer map can be played on. There are 3 different Onslaught versions. You can play it on Xbox, PlayStation, PC from now on, and that's forever. It's never going away. And yeah, hopefully I explained some stuff to you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to drop a like on the video as always, and I'll see you all guys in the next one. Peace out.